This is Matthew McConaughey.
Natalie Portman.
James Patterson.
Michael Ian Black.
And you are listening to
Five Questions
with Dan
Schawbel.
Tamera, welcome to Five Questions.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thanks so much for being here. Congrats on the book. I'd like to start off kind of in your early years. How did being raised in Hawaii with two parents who were both in the U.S. Army impact you?
I am very disciplined because of that. I am very hardworking. And it's not only me and my family, every one of us are. When I was growing up, it was quite annoying. But being an adult now, I am so appreciative of that skill that actually just comes naturally to me. And it's because of them.
I'm sure you always show up in time. I'm sure that you're really
hard
pressed
late,
about.
By the way.
Well, you were a minute early to this.
Is late.
I like that. No, I'm into that too. Actually, if someone's late, it does bother me a little bit. I'll admit that. Because you expect a lot from yourself.
Huh?
You expect a lot from yourself and how you kind of behave. And so therefore you hope that others will do the same.
How did you know that?
That's what I feel.
Yes, I am the same way. And sometimes I have to kind of like let that go. Because I learned the very hard way. Not many people think like you, act like you, or do the things that you do. I'm a true believer of the golden rule. And it's just, it's not as prevalent now. So, but when I do see someone who lives that way, it's beautiful to see, and they're most likely a kindred spirit. So
definitely. And what were the benefits and the drawbacks of partnering with your sister on Sister Sister as a teenager?
Benefits, I was living out my dream with my best friend. Not many people can say that. And then also growing up in this business, dealing with the highs and lows with someone who is going through the same thing and who can truly give you advice and feedback. So we were each other's net. We were definitely, there for each other, and we still are now. The hard part is that, it was very challenging as we got older. Once Sister Sister ended, for people to see us as individuals. So, sometimes they would just have one of us audition for a role. And we didn't mind auditioning both of us because we realized that we both were different. I auditioned for Melanie, the game. I got the last callback you could possibly get, but they decided at the last minute, Tia's personality fits this role better. And once I saw it, I was like, Tia is Melanie. I wouldn't have done Melanie justice. Good for her, and vice versa. I auditioned for Strong Medicine, Dr. Kayla Thornton. Dr. Kayla Thornton just fit, my personality better. Yes, we are twins, but we are different people with different personalities and different brands.
Yeah, I could imagine the friction that would come with that if you don't have a solid ground of values and mutual respect
for each other. And in the beginning, I'm not going to lie, there was some insecurities. Why did they choose her and not me? And we had to learn and grow, knowing that, wait a minute, we're not the same person. We are different people, and we each have our own gift. And you want what's for you, and I want what's for me. I don't want what's for you. I want what's designed for me. And that's how we were able to navigate it.
I love that. And your book's subtitle is a memoir about life, wine, and cookies. Why did you choose these three things? And what does it say about who you are as a person and what you care about?
Great question. Well, the memoir is definitely about life. And my favorite snack, it may seem weird to people, but I used to love just having, even when I was single, whenever I'm going through something, and I'm feeling down, just give me a chocolate chip cookie. It is my favorite cookie. I've tried all cookies. Chocolate chip is still my favorite, but it has to be chewy and warm. That's my thing. And wine. I love wine. So it's just fitting that I now am co-owners of a winery, by marriage. It's pretty freaking cool.
That's why you dated him? You like seeking out, hey,
No,
where are all
I
the wine owners?
swear, no. I will tell you, I was like, oh, it's pretty cool to date somebody who has a winery. But I never made a conscious, like, I never sat down with myself and was like, I'm going to own a winery one day, because the reality is it was Art's, my father-in-law's first. He was going to sell it. And then Adam, my husband, was like, ooh, I don't know if we should do that. Tamera, would you want to be co-owners? And I'm like, what? I don't know anything about wine except that I love to drink it. Only if you help me, let me learn. And yes, so now I'm a co-owner, but it wasn't something that I sat and thought about every day. So it's pretty freaking cool.
And can you share some Tamera-isms that you use to empower women to overcome the obstacles that you overcame in your life?
Well, I will tell you, they're constantly happening in my life. And my grandmother used to say, she was my favorite person, and I dedicate this book to her, Claretha Richardson. She used to always say, girl, you have an old soul. And I used to be like, is that a good thing? And she's like, yes, you're wise beyond your years. One of the things that have really helped me in my everyday life is life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And to me, I mean, some people may not agree with that, but when things are happening, I instead of going, why is this happening? I don't understand. I literally tell myself, what is this teaching me? What is this? Because I believe in every circumstance in our lives, we can either go one way or the other way, right? If we learn from it and look at the positive, what positive lesson that can be pulled, from this, even with some of the worst circumstances in your life, you can find something to learn from. And I actually learned it with the passing of my niece who was murdered. And I remember my therapist, her saying, what did this experience teach you? And I remember at first I was like, how dare you? How dare you even say that? Like, that is, it hasn't taught me anything. I'm upset. I'm angry. She goes, no, there's something in there. I'll ask you in a couple of weeks. And the more I marinated on it, it's true. Her death taught me, she died at 18, that we can't use our age and take that as, we can't take that for granted, because we don't know. We don't know when our end day is going to happen. So live your life. So I hug my children harder. I kiss them more. When you have a parent that's calling you at a busy time in life, hey, mom, I love you. I just want to hear your voice. Yes, thank you. So I can't talk right now. I tell my loved ones I love them. So my main thing is, whatever happens in life, let's just look at the situation and let's see what it's teaching us here. And that has helped me so much.
And
So,
decisions are made for a reason, for the most part, right? And so a lot of what we do is we look back and we're like, oh, in hindsight, maybe I would have done it differently. But would you have, when you were in that moment? Probably not, because you made that decision for a reason. That's kind of how I think of it.
Yeah.
And I think about time, like I didn't care about time when I was 8 years old. Right. Now I'm like, how the heck is this year almost over?
And our time here is precious. And now in life, here's another one that I've learned. I'm protecting my peace at all costs, because time technically is not on our side. Like, we're not going to live forever here. So my time, who I spend to choose it with, is very important. And if I'm spending time with you and it's not, it's toxic, it's and I've tried, and because that's another thing. I always try to help. I never quit on people, but then I've had to learn, sometimes you gotta let it go. It's just not for you.
Definitely.
And, yeah.
And what's your best piece of career advice?
Hone your craft. Always. I'm constantly learning. And I believe that is why I'm still going. I never think I know everything, even though I have had all these movies, all these shows, See that Emmy back there? I'm still learning. I never stop. And that's when you will constantly keep growing, becoming better. So definitely just hone your craft, keep your options open, and constantly learn.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. When you were, doing Sister Sister, there was no streaming services. There was no, all this new technology is available now. The business has changed. The world culturally, things have changed. So,
100%.
I think everyone, especially in entertainment, but I would say everyone needs to evolve and try and kind of stay relevant and challenge themselves like you have.
Yes, keep yourself open for evolving. That is the key, because family sitcoms are different now. The 90s sitcom, it doesn't work, right now. So if you thought you knew everything and you won your Emmy during the 90s sitcom and that's how you've got to learn, with the
Exactly.
new formula that's happening right now. So that would be my greatest career advice.
Well, that's great advice. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. It was an honor.